Welcome to the channel Learning R is Fun. In the last video, we had discussed about list data type, which is most flexible but also requires a little bit of effort to handle. In this video, we will see another data type, matrix. Matrices are the R objects in which the elements are arranged in a two-dimensional rectangular layout. They contain elements of the same atomic types. Just like we use list function to create list data type, we use matrix function to create matrices. The basic syntax for creating a matrix in R is matrix, data, n row, n col, by row, dim names are the arguments. Let us discuss the parameters of the matrix function. Data is what with which we will fill in the matrix. N row is the number of rows to be created. N col is the number of columns to be created. By row tells R how to go about filling the cells of the matrix. If true, then the input data elements are arranged by row. You can name the rows and columns of a matrix. Dim name is the names assigned to the rows and columns. Let us see some examples. The function matrix is given data 1 to 6. We tell R we want 3 rows, 2 columns, and filling of the cells are to be done not by row, that is to be done by columns. I have omitted the details in the function definition as to how I gave row names R1 to R3 and column names C1 and C2. We will see that in RStudio session. R goes about filling the data by C1 column and then C2 column from top to bottom. In the second matrix, we see how R fills the data by row. We will see another example. Here we have shown how a matrix can be created by joining the vectors using row binding and column binding. We have created two vectors v1 and v2. We can have more than two vectors also. However, as a simple example, we have used only two vectors. We have produced two matrices using these two functions. In RBind, we combine the data of the vectors row after row. Therefore, R retains the names of the vectors as row names in the matrix that is produced. In CBind, we combine the data of the vectors column after column. Therefore, R retains the vector names as column names in the matrix that is produced. These functions are versatile and they can be used even to combine matrices to form a single matrix. We use matrices containing numeric elements to be used in mathematical calculations and matrix algebra. We will see only basic matrix operations in this session. We will go to RStudio now. We will create a vector 1, that vec1 is the variable name in which I am giving I am going to learn core R concepts. Basically they are strings, they are all combined into a concatenation function and offered to vec1 through an assignment symbol. Let's execute this statement. Now let's see what is vec1. We are seeing there are 6 elements in vector 1. This is a character vector. Then we will create the matrix. Mat1 is the matrix variable name. Mat1 is the matrix name. Matrix is the function name. We give the data as vec1 and then we give n row as 2. Let's create this mat1 object now. Now let's see what is mat1. So we have got I am going to learn core R concepts. So it is filled by column wise, that is by row is false. Now let us see what is the second row third element. This is the index method in matrix. So you give row index and column index. So second row third element. The second row third element is concepts. So we can see how to extract an element out of a matrix. So we have received this. there is a dim function which will give the dimensions of the matrix. So dimensions of the matrix is 2 rows and 3 columns, and that comes in the form of a vector. Okay, now we'll move on. We'll create mat1. This time we'll give n row n col, and we say by row is true. Previously it filled by column measure. Now when we say by row is true, it will be filled by row measure. Let's see what is mat1 now. So I am going to learn core R concepts. It is filled row by row. Suppose we give by row is false, then also you will get by column method. So I am going to learn core R concepts. So now we'll move on further. We'll create a vector letter data, which is basically concatenation of small case letters 1 to 10 and then uppercase letters 1 to 10, and then they are concatenated together and given into letter data. Basically letter data will contain 20 letters. You can see letter data in the environment also. You can see letter data, it is A, B, C, D like that, 1 to 20 character vector. Okay, now we'll create mat2, that is a matrix function with the letter data, and n column will say 2, n rows will be automatically 10 because 2 into 10 is 20. Dim names is to be given in the form of a list. So in the list we have to give row names first and then column names. We will not give any row names, so we will leave it like this C function but without any arguments. Then column names will give lowercase and then uppercase. Let's see how mat2 is created with this. We are having lowercase column, uppercase column. Column names have as specified by us has come. Row names we are not specified, so row names are shown in this manner. That is the first row and column all columns, second row all columns, like that. The row names have been named automatically by R. If we want to give row names specifically, then we have to give them, like in this case 100 to 109 is what we want to give. Remaining arguments are same. So let's execute this function mat2, and now we'll see the row names have been replaced. Originally the index positions were given, but now specific row names we have given, so these have come here. This time we'll give n row as 2, so that means n column will be 10. Letter data, dim names we have to give. So here first we are giving the row names, then we are giving column names. Since we have not given anything, column names will not be there, row names will be given as lowercase and uppercase, and there are 2 rows. By row is true, so the data will be filled by row first. That means lowercase will be 10 letters will be filled, then uppercase 10 letters will be filled one after another. Let's see whether this happens. mat2, so we got like this. Now we will move on. There is a transpose function here. Basically mat1 will be transposed, that is rows will be taken as columns, columns will be taken as rows, and that will be going to the vector matrix dot transposed. So before going to this, let us see what is mat1. So this is mat1. What is matrix transposed? Let's see matrix transposed. Now we will create one vector 1 to 10 and vector 2 as 101 to 110. Now we will use rbind function and we will bind the vector 1 and vector 2 into a matrix. So vector 1 should come in the first row, vector 2 should come in the second row. So mat3, we will see what is mat3. We are having vec 1 in first row, vec 2 in second row, and columns have been named like this. Here the column names have been given by way of indices. So we will now give specific call names using call names function. Call names will offer uppercase letters A onwards 10 letters. Now let's see what is mat3. The call names have been given as desired, and row names have been the data which we have fed. Based on that, R has given the row names. Now we will go ahead and define mat4 using cbind. Here again we will give vector 1 and vector 2 which we have created here, and that means vec1 will be the first column, vec2 will be the second column. So mat4, and let's see what is mat4. As expected, the data names basically vec1 and vec2 have been retained in as column names, and row names it has given by way of index method. Now we can offer row names using row names function, the same alphabets. So we give now this command, and mat4 will see how it has become now. So we got the row names, and we got the column names, and we got the matrix 4. See, this R bind and C bind can not only combine vectors to form a matrix, they can also combine matrices to form one matrix. That means more than one matrix can be combined. It may be 2, 3 or any number. They can be combined in a particular fashion, either by row bind or by column bind. Let's take an example of mat2 and mat3 which we have already created. So let us repeat them here. mat2 is this, mat3 is this. Now what we are doing by row bind. So here 2 rows are here, 2 more rows are here, all 4 rows let us combine and create a mat5. So mat5 will create, and let us ask what is the dimension of mat5. Dimension of mat5 is 4 rows and column is 10. Okay. Now let's see what is mat5. You can see here itself, mat5. So we have got A, B, C, D, H and then I and J. So all 4 rows are available here and 10 columns are available. Similarly, we can make a mat6 as column bind. Let's see, here dimension is 20 columns, 10, 10, 20 columns, because we are combining 2 matrices and each matrix is having 10 columns. So we'll have 20 columns. Let's see what is mat6. So this mat6 is basically combining the column. So you get columns here, and column names as given by us is for the second matrix only. So those names have come here. Now it's time to wind up this session. In this video, we have covered the matrix data type in R which deal with the 2-dimensional data. In our next video, we will discuss arrays which are used to represent 3 or more dimensions of data. Till then, bye from me. Thanks for watching.